This is The Great Expanse by JohnBev426 here on YouTube. It is always an honor, it's always a privilege to record these videos, to edit them, put my particular spin on them so that they will be memorable. And they are for your consumption as well as my consumption. And if you've liked the videos that you've seen thus far, hit the like button. If not, hit the dislike button. Share these videos with other people that you know that like comic book related stuff as much as you do. Subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications, all. Not personalized or the one underneath, but all. So the next time a new video is dropped, you'll know about it second. I'll know about it first. The champ is here. The champ is here. Okay. All right. We are coming from the DCU news. Yay. All right. And the headline leapt off the screen. Superman Legacy's lead villain could already set up the DCU's Thanos. Again, buzzwords. Thanos. The big bad for the MCU from phase 1 all the way to phase 3. Yeah, the big bad villain of 1 through 3. He was and I know this isn't about Thanos. Since they mentioned Thanos, I'm going down this rabbit hole or rabbit trail. One of those. He was beautifully set up in the mid-credit scene of the Avengers movie in 2012. No dialogue from Thanos. He simply stands up, looks towards a moon or some heavenly body, and the other talks about the Avengers, and then he half turns with a smile on his face when they mention death. Because in the comic books, Thanos is a death-worshipping megalomaniac. He don't care about balance like he did in the theatrical releases of Infinity War and Endgame. To me, that was Apocalypse. Apocalypse cares about balance and all that stuff. But Thanos doesn't. Comic book accurate Thanos doesn't. He worships death. Okay? But it was beautiful the way that they took their time. As I said, it began in 2012. We didn't see Thanos again until 2014 with Guardians of the Galaxy. All right, and I'm trying to think if the end credit scene to Avengers: Age of Ultron came first. I'm not sure, but in that one, you see the Infinity Gauntlet on some kind of pedestal of some sort. He picks it up and goes, "Fine, I'll do it myself." And the terrific scene in Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, where he's on his throne, there's more dialogue. There's back and forth between him and Ronan the Accuser. And Ronan kills the other. And Thanos don't really seem to care about it. He's actually scolding Ronan. He said, because you've alienated my favorite daughter, Gamora, while his other daughter is sitting there. So it's terrific the way it's done. And at the end of Thor Ragnarok, the post-credit scene of Thor Ragnarok, his ship cuts off the ship that's carrying the refugees and the survivors from Asgard. It basically cuts them off. And you know that's Thanos. And then we see Thanos in Avengers Infinity War is Thanos' movie. Okay? That was his movie. That's why at the end of the movie it said Thanos will return, because that was his film. So it's beautiful the way that it was set up in the MCU. I said all that to say this. The fact that this article is highlighting Thanos, they're trying to promote whoever the big bad is for the DCU as somebody that's going to set the world on fire like Thanos did for the MCU. I mean, spectacular stuff with Thanos in the first 3 phases of the MCU. Now, this article is by William Pageant, okay? And I don't believe I've said it yet, but the website is cbr.com. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe comic book resources. Who cares? CBR.com. All right. Let's get into the article. Speculation has arisen surrounding the identity of the lead villain for James Gunn's Superman Legacy film set to release in 2025, July 11th. However, the only clue is the leaked production name of Apex. The most popular theory is that this Apex name is a reference to the Apex Lex Luthor or the Ultra Humanite, and they spelled Humanite incorrectly. But there is another threat within the DC universe that has bared the moniker of Apex. Let me stop right there. Cap, and more cap. Apex Lex Luthor or the Ultra Humanite? No. William, you're just blowing smoke here. We know it's not Luthor. We know it's not the Ultra Humanite. Okay? Because this is a DC universe-wide villain. They said that the series Lanterns was really going to sort of investigate who this lead big bad is for the DCU. And we know it's not Luthor or the Ultra Humanite. Now, I would love to see the Ultra Humanite in live action. Let's get back to the article. During 2019's Justice League number 22 by James Tynion IV, Francis Manapul, and Tom Napolitano, a supremely powerful cosmic entity responsible for one of DC Comics' biggest crisis events created a group of Martian hybrids known as the Apex Predators. I did not know that. If the Apex appearing in Superman Legacy is a member of the Apex Predators, the DCU could very well be setting up their own answer, Thanos. Great grammar there. As the creator of Hybrid Army commands a level of power beyond any threat within the DC universe. I'm still just analyzing this god-awful grammar. Okay, anyway, let me get off of that. Let's see. Superman Legacy reportedly okay, who cares? Who are Perpetua and the Apex Predators? Perpetua of the Sixth Dimension was introduced during Scott Snyder and James Tynion IV's Justice League comic book run, wherein she featured as the ultimate antagonist throughout the comic's first 39 issues. Wow. This culminated in both the Justice/Doom War and Dark Knight's Death Metal comic book events. The villain was identified as one of the primordial deities of the DC Universe that played a role in every reboot in DC Comics, starting from the legendary 1985 Crisis on Infinite Earths event to the New 52 reboot. I believe the New 52 was early 2000s, so we're looking at about a 20-year span from 1985 to the New 52. In an effort to aid her quest of rewriting the DC Universe, Perpetua scoured the multiverse for alien races of immense potential to act as her personal army. The deity eventually settled on creating a Martian and human hybrid species known as the Apexes, or Apex Predators, which she unleashed onto the Earth 15 billion years before the Age of Heroes. If the production name Apex is connected to the Perpetua's hybrid monsters, then the DCU is certainly setting up a worthy counterpart to the MCU's Thanos in terms of cosmic threat. However, there is more that can come from the lead Superman Legacy villain being an Apex Predator beyond setting up a potential live-action appearance of Perpetua. While Perpetua would definitely be too big of a presence to have in Superman Legacy, her incredibly powerful Apex Predators could put a young Man of Steel's power to the test. This could also conveniently open up some avenues for future movies. Perpetua's creation of the Apex Predators occurred simultaneously with Lex Luthor's transformation into Apex Lex. Corny. So perhaps the premier Superman villain could use the Apex Predators as a way to eventually put himself on par with his hated foe. Another interesting concept involving the Apex Predators are their connections to DC Comics' Martians. Whenever we say Martian, even if you're talking about Marvel or whatever, you think about Martian Manhunter John Jones, okay? By introducing the Apex Predators into the DCU, the Justice Leaguer, Martian Manhunter, could also appear to help Superman. This could lead to something akin to his appearance in 2020's Superman Man of Tomorrow movie, wherein he helped the Man of Steel battle Parasite. Superman Man of Tomorrow was an animated film, okay? The creation of the Apex Predators could even be the DCU's way of explaining the disappearance of the Martian race, something that is very prevalent to the origins of both Martian Manhunter and his niece, Miss Martian. I would love to see Miss Martian. But regardless of who ends up being the enigmatic villain of James Gunn's Superman Legacy, expectations will be high. And that is the end of the article. And there are a few things that I want to chew about this, okay? First of all, Apex Lex sounds stupid to me. I'm just being honest. Do I love Lex Luthor as a villain? Heck yes. Yes. Okay. One of my favorite supervillains, easily. The idea of him being named Apex Lex is corny to me. I'm sorry. It is. And I'm ambivalent about that. Ambivalent, a great word for the Great Expanse by John Beth 426. I would love for there to be something personal to Superman in Superman Legacy. And you don't get more personal than Lex Luthor. The idea of this Perpetua and the Apex Predators being the big bads for the opening slate of the DCU, to me, not a good idea. Why? Because nobody knows who they are. Perpetua? What a weak name. It's a letter short of perpetual. Can't be stopped. You know what I mean? Perpetual motion. You know what I mean? Perpetua? Apex Predator? These sound like Power Ranger villains. When you think about the DC universe, you think about the villains. Perpetua and the Apex Predators don't even cross your mind or cross your lips to come out of your mouth, pause, to be announced as major DC villains. This would be such a letdown if in the Lantern series, that's going to do kind of take the lead as far as investigating the crime, in other words, that sets off the DC universe, and it turns out to be these cosmic entities that nobody cares about or heard of. This will be a disappointment. James Gunn, Peter Safran, please don't go down this trail. No. And as I said, I am ambivalent to something being about Lex Luthor, okay? Because Lex Luthor is somebody that really pushes Superman to his limits. So because again, the movie needs to be about Superman, all right? And Lex Luthor, he really puts Superman into the spotlight. He really puts the showcase on Superman, Kal-El. So I really do want something personal, but not a cosmic entity already out the gate. Come on. Now all of a sudden, Lex Luthor, hey, why is he such a combatant for Superman? Because of Perpetua and the Apex Predators. That sounds like a failed heavy metal rock cover band. Perpetua and the Apex Predators. Whack! I hope they never see the light of day or live action. Please, no, not them. Now, the idea of Martians being involved is interesting to me, especially Martian Manhunter, because we don't see a lot of Martian Manhunter in live action. We did see some great Martian Manhunter action in the Supergirl series on the CW. I don't hate on the CW like other people do, okay? Because the CW kind of went there with some of the stories, especially when they did the Superman Man Up Tomorrow, the man who has everything except for Supergirl with the Black Mercy or whatever, from the famous story by Alan Moore. But the CW went there a few times, okay? But Martian Manhunter, yay. But please, not this Perpetua and the Apex Predators. I don't care how big they are to comic book readers. No. There's a different medium between movies and comic books. Let Perpetua and the Apex Predators stay on the pages of DC Comics. Don't introduce her and these people, or whatever, these predators, Apex Predators, into Gods and Monsters. Please no. Please no. James, I'm almost begging you, no. Peter, please do not green like that. Who could be the opening big bad of the DCU? I think you already know the answer as far as I go. I don't want to see Red Lanterns this soon, even though I would love to see Red Lanterns and Sinestro later on, okay? I want them before a movie, okay? But as Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan are investigating this crime, I would love for there to be a link to New Genesis and Apocalypse, the gods of the fourth world. Because you can make a whole series out of the fourth world by themselves. Metron, the Forever People, Orion, Mantis, Veerman Wunderbar, Kanto, Granny Goodness, Dazad, the Female Furies, Big Barda, Mr. Miracle, and it all leads to Darkseid. They lead to Darkseid, and you can take your time. You can really let it breathe with the fourth world. You don't have to rush anything, because you're going to be on the edge of your seat watching it, especially if it starts out in a series like Lanterns and continues into another series. Then you have a huge culminating event years down the line, which involves Superman, which involves Wonder Woman, which involves Batman, and the other Justice Leaguers, like the Green Lanterns, like Martian Manhunter, who we mentioned, like Swamp Thing here on Earth. He can protect Earth. There are so many directions that you can go in, okay? But please, not Perpetua and the Apex Predators. I'm sorry, whoever created them. I don't like their name. No. All right, let me get down off my soapbox, even though I appreciate the view from my soapbox. All right, if you've liked this video, if you like my take on this article involving possible big bads for Superman Legacy, hit the like button. Write a dissertation in the comments if necessary. Give me your thoughts on Perpetua and the Apex Predators, and if they would work. Why not be a contrarian to me? Why not help me to see the good in Perpetua and the Apex Predators? That's what a conversation does, okay? So write a dissertation if necessary. David Brent, please let them know where their comments or their dissertations go, sir. Thank you, Mr. Brent. And like this video, share it so that the YouTube algorithm can see that we've got traffic coming in. Traffic going out. So that The Great Expanse by John Bat 426 can and will expand. It's in the name, and I can't wait for the DCU. I can't wait until it takes flight like Kal-El. Peace.